All right, welcome to the fourth and final game of the evening. This time is the 100-Year Kingdom. So the 100-Year Kingdom is a tactical, not a tactical strategy game, a, let's see, kind of a world-building strategy game, I guess, only without a lot of the strategy. That is to say, this game is priding itself on being creating a world in conflict, a world free of conflict, that is. And by that, they mean there's a lot of elements in other strategy games that just aren't present here. There's no disasters, there's no enemies, there's no calamities, there's no fail states or even pain states of any sort. It's, just, you've got this isometric plot of land. You've got some resources. Build them up as you see fit over the course of 100 years. Read 100 turns. And you might ask, what's the goal here? What's the actual strategy? Well, to answer that, there's still a resource management component going on here because each, let's say, unit, farmland, quarry, town, requires a certain amount of resource. In this case, there are three resources. There's food, there's the ill-defined production, which I guess might be labor, and there's culture. And you use those in the generation of these units up to wonders of the world. You can build up to like real life locations that exist either now or in history. Stuff like the Forbidden City, Amsterdam, the Alhambra, the Hanging Gardens, so on and so forth. And at the end of 100 turns, you're scored on the amount of resources you've built up and the amount of resources you have left over. And you are ranked accordingly. I was consistently B ranked. So, in real terms, this is a very dead simple strategy game, especially with the lack of any sort of strife. So, on the one hand, this actually makes for a good Zen game. Just, making a whole bunch of little choices here is actually very good at clearing the mind. On the other hand, this game gets dull quickly because it doesn't really change from place to place. There are some different strategies, like the first world is the world of vegetation, and then you unlock the world of culture. So there's a different resource bent there, but that is that's a subtle distinction, and you're not really unlocking a whole bunch of new units next time around. You do unlock new goddesses who have different stat builds, but it's all mushy and indistinct, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I was kind of shocked at how little there is to this game when you get down to it. Which I guess is nice if you're looking for something casual focused, but if you're looking for a strategy game with a lot of strategy, this isn't it. I'm like, I'll be honest, after about 3-4 hours, I got bored and just moved on to other things. There's just not a lot to do. And there's not any real sort of variance to what you're doing. So it's really, really shallow and limited in that regard. And yeah, I mean, like I said, that's about it. I wish there were more to this game because it plays really well for what it does. But, you know, this is just something that you're going to play for a little bit and probably move on to something else. And in terms of pricing, well, there's the base bundle, which is $13. And then there's the DX bundle, which has the soundtrack and art book, which I think is going for $20. This is a hard recommendation at $13 to $20. Like 5 to 10 is the price I'd say you should look at, just with how how little there is. Graphics are fine. Music was fine, if relaxing and indistinct. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions on the game?
Not that I can see.
Not particularly.
All right then.
Looks a
So
little
yeah,
interesting, but I'll take your
yeah,
word for it that it's pretty shallow.
yeah. Anyway, so that'll about do it for not just this review, but this review session. So the week ahead, let's see, coming up on Wednesday, June 8th, we'll be welcoming back to the program David Brevik, this time representing his Grade Beer Games label, which is like his, I don't know, solo indie dev thing. If you recall, we actually had him back in January talk about a bunch of games from Skystone Games. Here we'll be talking about his side-scrolling action RPG roguelike thing called It Lurks Below. And let's see, no Friday show this week. There was something in the works at one point, but that got canned due to scheduling conflicts, as it goes sometimes. And we do have a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents planned this Wednesday inside the studio. So I'm sure that will be something. And until Wednesday, I shall wish you good gaming.